Yeah, I got my suit on, and this was supposed to be my little joke. I kind of look like John Wick, except I'm fat and I'm not hot. Anyway, this is probably one of the best action movie sequels I've ever fucking seen. And not to say I don't like John Wick 1. I fucking love that movie. It was one of my favorite movies of 2014. Unfortunately, I didn't start my channel back in good old year 2014 because I hated that year and I didn't want to do anything. But now I'm here to tell you about how good John Wick 2 is. But first, I gotta make this announcement. You probably should see John Wick 1 if you want to watch this. I don't want to say you have to definitely 100% see it to understand this, but it really helps to understand John Wick's situation and why he has to come back into the assassin business. Now I could talk about this story. So it basically goes, John Wick gets approached by one of his older associates who helped him out getting out of the assassin business, and now he said, "Hey John, I noticed you did some more work. I kind of need you again." John Wick refuses, and then he blows up his house because that was a betrayal, because of some certain contract he signed with his blood. It was a blood sort of contract. And now John Wick has to do things that kill a lot of people in very sick ass ways. This fucking thing doesn't fit me, man. I don't watch reviews before I make my own review, but from what I've heard everyone talking underground, they say, yeah, this is way better than John Wick 1. And it is in certain circumstances, but I do think that some of John Wick 1's story was better handled than this one. Don't get me wrong, this is a great fucking story and all, but they handle John Wick's sort of a contract negotiation agreement he has to do with his old business associate. They rushed that a bit. A lot, actually. I kind of wanted to see more of his planning, sort of he sort of just gets the job done, and I was like, oh, that was a little anticlimactic. But in the first one, everything fucking was handled well. And I mean, yeah, sure you can say, oh, but it's just a story about a guy who's getting revenge for his dog getting killed. Yeah, that's what makes it so fucking good. It's a simple concept, but it's handled so fucking excellently with the action and the fucking pacing. It's all great. This one's great too. That was my really only complaint about the story. And this movie's ending is, yeah, it's a cliffhanger, but it was a great fucking cliffhanger. I really cannot wait to see John Wick fucking 3 and where they go with this. Because not only do they add more to John Wick's character, they add more to the Assassin's Guild. They mention a bigger household of assassins that run all the little assassins and all the hotels that give the assassins their trinkets, guns, and knives. It was really fucking well handled. I love how they added on to the assassin's lore. It was pretty fucking sick. Yeah, I know I'm in a different shirt for anyone who cares, but that's because I'm filming this little part after I made my review, so I'm just going to cover this topic a little bit more thoroughly than I did in my review. The action in John Wick Chapter 2. This action is spectacular. I mean, the editing alone has to be given praise. I mean, every time he does a Sam Fisher mark and execute Splinter Cell sort of technique where he goes pew pew pew, and then a guy gets shot in the head and he falls, it cuts to another angle of him falling, and then another group of guys comes and tries to take John Wick out. I gotta give props to that kind of editing. That is awesome editing. And I also gotta give props to the camera guys, because say John Wick gets into a hand-to-hand fight scene, they don't cut away that much. I mean, they sort of cut away just to get to another angle, but they leave it on it for a bit of time whenever he gets in the hand-to-hand scene. I could tell that probably took a lot of rigorous training and a lot of choreography to get that exact sort of jab, block, or shoot, shoot, shoot sort of shit. I appreciate that in this movie. And one thing they also do, they make John Wick human. And when I say that, I mean he's not an immortal fucking superhero who can take shots to the chest with body armor on and walk it off. He gets hurt. I mean, in the end of this movie, he limps because he gets hurt so much. That shit was fucking cool to me. Alright, back to you, my past self. Alright, now I can talk about the characters. Keanu Reeves himself, John Wick, he adds a lot to the role. I mean, he digs himself deeper and deeper back into the hole he tried to escape a couple years ago with his wife. But you can tell, every single person he kills, he gets back and deeper into the hole and he can't escape it. You can tell he's really beat down, he really doesn't want to do this. And Keanu Reeves does some spectacular stunt work in this movie. I mean, fucking awesome. They call it gun fu, apparently, the stunt work he does. It's really fucking awesome. I gotta give him props for doing that shit. It must have took months. And we get to see something that they had a little bit in John Wick 1. We get to see him fight an equal, sort of, with his own talent. Common. Common did fucking awesome in this. Some people might say, yeah, he wasn't in it that much. I wanted to see more of him, but I feel like they're gonna save him up for the next one. I'll say this: he has a fucking great fight scene with John Wick because they're basically equals in terms of like skill, with a gun and with a knife. They're fucking. It's a great fucking fight scene. I loved him. He was great. Ruby Rose is also in this too. Fucking Ruby Rose has been in like 3 movies I've seen. For the past 3 movies in a row I've seen, she's been in 3 of those. What the fuck? She did pretty great in this too. She didn't really have that much of a role. She was sort of just a bodyguard to John Wick's business partner, his person who gave him the contract and he has to fulfill. Speaking of him, I'm probably butchering his name, but Ricardo Samarico, he was the guy who got John Wick out of the assassin's business. He did great in this. I thought he was a great fucking villain. I thought he was just as good as the last villain in John Wick. One character that actually sort of disappointed me, because he wasn't in it as much, he was sort of just there as, I feel like, a little sort of like, hey, he was in a movie with Keanu Reeves once, it was really popular. Lawrence Fishburne was in this. He was great. I thought he was another cool little addition to the Assassin's world, sort of like the lower guys. But I wished he was in it more. He's in it for maybe a total of, I want to say 7 minutes, sort of just talking to John Wick, being very, like, extravagant. I don't know, I kind of wished he was in it more, to be honest. Alright, time for the score. I'm going to give this beautiful shot, beautifully acted, beautiful fucking movie, a fucking 9. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Go watch John Wick 2. Go watch John Wick 1. Keep breathing oxygen. I don't know how to fucking end these things. This is hard, man. Bye.